All right, everyone, welcome to the Relenting Melancholy of Mega Man X. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. This is way more people than I thought would show up on Friday morning, so thank you very much. All right, so first off, introductions. So my name is Rachel. I grew up playing Mega Man X, but as a kid, I didn't have access to all of the games, and so I don't know if you experienced this when you were young, but if there's something that you really love, like you would go online and like try and find everything you could, find all the websites and learn as much as you could. And there we go, thank you. I soon realized that the plot left a lot to be desired, but you're trying to fill in the blanks and everything. I'm curious, how many of you came last year to my Sonic Underground panel?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was just curious. All right, and these are my two wonderful friends. They will introduce themselves.
You want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Hi, everyone. My name's Taylor. Rachel had talked to me about doing a Mega Man panel. I don't know anything about Mega Man itself, but she was like, I have this theory about a link to Japan, and I was like, Japan? I do know about Japan. So I'm here to kind of give a little bit of history nerd type stuff.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angela. I'm also a friend of Rachel's that was invited to be on the panel despite not being a Mega Man fan, but I have been a nerd since I was born in the late 80s, so I did live through the time that Mega Man was coming up as well. I am familiar with its contemporaries, and we'll be talking a little bit about that.
All right, so I don't think I see Dr. Light in here. He's not here. Okay. All right, where's my mouse? There we go. All right, so question up top. How many of you played these games? Like all of them? All right, how many of you played like half? All right, cool. So did these games contribute to your emo phase? Let's hear from you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just a certain level of, in the panel description, like melancholy baked into these games, and I was curious as to why. Like, video games are supposed to be like triumphant and happy, and yet at the end of every game it's like, oh, we're gonna have to keep fighting. Like, oh geez, okay. So how do we define melancholy? I think it's like kind of, your heartstrings, the themes of loss, the themes of feeling out of place. These are the types of things that contribute to the idea of melancholy. So today we're going to discuss early signs of melancholy in the Mega Man series, Mega Man X games in history, and legacy of the games in comparison with their contemporaries. Warning, there will be trivia throughout, and you can win a prize. Okay. The prize is M points, so you get to spend those in the vendor's hall, I think, $5. So thank you to the panels department for kindly donating that to this panel. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about our favorite dude.
Whoa.
Or maybe our second favorite dude, Yeah. All right. All right. I know. We'll get there, I promise. Okay. So the original series released in 1987, very small team of Capcom. The games are more episodic, where it's like, oh, we gotta beat Dr. Wily again, like over and over again. But the world kind of returns to normal at the end of every game. But there were some early signs of melancholy, maybe a little sorrow. Let's listen. Now, the thing is, the videos have to be pulled up separately, so thank you. And then I think I can just hit the space bar. Sorry, guys. Are you crying?
Just a little.
Okay. Did PowerPoint come back? Yes. Awesome. Okay, so, Yeah, the Mega Man 3 theme is different than the other two games that are a little more like, you're going to play Mega Man. This one is a little like, oh, like, well, what am I in for? And also, I believe this is the one where we get to meet Proto Man. Wonderful dude. Or maybe not, I don't know. But he's like, you know, that long lost brother, and like, you know, you're trying to reunite, but you can't, and like, oh, like that just like pulls at the heartstrings, you know? So those are kind of some early signs, like the music is getting a little more like, you know, minor key, I don't know. I wish that I knew more about music to like make this even more applicable to MAGFest, sorry guys. But we got trivia. All right, so please raise your hand. I will call on someone in the audience. Here we go. What is this character's name in Japanese? I'm gonna go with very back of the black long sleeve shirt. Yeah. That's right. Come on down.
Give them these guys.
Yes. All right. So, moving along. There were 5 Mega Man games released before Mega Man X1. And the team was like, let's make it more sophisticated. But in these games, in the Mega Man X games, you know, things get worse and worse, whereas the other games are like more bright and happy. So my question was, why? Why do we see this happening? And there's a pretty big reason that happened before the game was released. The economic crash of Japan. So we have something called the Lost Decade. So Taylor's going to talk a little bit about some historical elements.
Yeah, so basically what happened is around 1990, Japan went through what they from 1990 to about 2000. Some people even say up until 2025. So I guess it depends on how you feel about money. They went through what was called the Lost Decade. And it's interesting to look at it because I think from an American lens, the downturn was not extreme. There wasn't like a stock market, there wasn't like a big stock market crash. There wasn't like a huge like monumental occasion in terms of like what we would think of for like an economic crash. It was more like a series of things that happened over time. So it was like, okay, we're starting to realize that the yen is getting stronger and more people want to hold on to their money. And so then we're having a harder time trying to sell things. We're having a harder time trying to make this money work. And also there were things happening like they were starting to get involved with the Gulf War. There were also things like big earthquakes and issues like that. And so it was just like slowly over time, people were starting to see like it's getting harder and harder for us to find a good job, to make good money and things like that. And I think it does end up reflecting really nicely over the Mega Man series just because things also seem to progressively get worse and worse, right? So.
Yep. So, you know, in the 80s in Japan, like we all know, like it was like, we're making technology, we're doing all this stuff, it's great, it's crazy. But then in the 90s, it was like, oh no. So we're gonna look at how like in the games, what elements we see of like Melancholy in the stories. So here's our dude, Mega Man X. All right.
Mega Man 10 as he's called in America.
Thank you, yes. All right, so 1993. The game booklet gives you a lot more plot than the actual game. So we got Dr. Kane, he's an archaeologist, but also apparently a Renaissance man because he's able to like make robots too. Within a year, basically, they've like made Reploids and then like they start going Maverick and they're like, oh, should we get rid of them? But it's been like 1 month of them being mass produced. And like, no, we're too dependent on them. I'm like, 1 month? 1 month? Like, okay. But they have, you know, this one really powerful robot, Sigma, obviously, as you all know. And he goes Maverick, and so then also we have the theme of Zero sacrificing himself to save X. Now, my understanding was that X, having been built by Dr. Light, always had a certain je ne sais quoi about him that like prevented him from going Maverick, but I could not necessarily confirm that. Anyone have thoughts on that? Red hoodie?
So actually the whole thing is that X was built and so he needs like ethics testing for like 100 years so that he needs to be able I'm sure this will work out fine. Nothing can possibly go wrong with this. And yeah.
Yeah. In front.
They also kind of retcon added to that in Mega Man 10
Mm.
with Roboenza, where they use that as the back justification for, okay, I need to make a virus-proof robot.
Yeah. All right. One more comment in the back.
If I remember correctly, especially the data under X, Mike called that the first name and X as the variable X.
Mm.
Doesn't feel not sensible. That's probably the environment on Maverick.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, we, I believe, are going to listen to something, maybe. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So we kind of get this, like, heavy theme of, like, I don't fit in. Like, that's something that's talked a lot about in the game manual. So, and you can kind of hear that in the song that's kind of like X's theme. Do I just hit play? Okay. So this is your hero's theme, and it's not like, yay, it's like, oh no. I mean, I don't mean to be repetitive, but literally, like, that's how so much of these games feel, where it's like, oh no. So let's move along. We're gonna try to get through, like, all the main series games, but we're gonna run out of time, so we might have to start speeding up. So yeah, I mean, the end of the game, it's like, the war has ended, but, like, X is exhausted, so, like, and then it's like at the end, Sigma shows up and he's like, I'm not really dead. And you're like, uh-oh. There's also some slight nihilism there with like X being like, do I have to keep doing this forever? Like, do I have to keep fighting forever? So let's move on to X2. All right. So it's set 6 months after X1. There's way more plot. There's efforts to rebuild Zero by Sigma and X. So like, that dual storyline. But one fun thing we get to see, finally, is what Dr. Kane actually looks like. We never saw... Well, I'm like, does he have a cane because his name is Dr. Kane? Like...
Oh, no.
Literally! Okay. So, yeah, in the first game, we don't, never see this man. So, we get to see a little bit of a difference. In X1, it's like X is like, I'm not that good of a fighter, but I feel compelled to fight. But then we get to see in X2 some character development. So, what did I do? Is it up?
Our screen seems to
Oh,
have
it's just a black screen, so I think it is up.
What the? Sorry. Okay. So at the beginning of, X1, we see him being like, I'm on a highway and I'm gonna see what I can do to help. In this one, it's like, I'm riding a bike and I'm gonna throw it into a giant robot. Like, we see some major character development. So he is now the leader of the Reploids. He is gonna, fight for what's right. Next trivia question. So in this game, we see 3 people trying to rebuild Zero. What are their names? I'm gonna go over here.
Admiral, violin, and
I believe in you.
Yes, you got this.
Starts with an S.
Surgeon.
Yeah, come on down.
And I also love the encouragement from everyone in the room. Very good.
Yep. All right, so next one, X3. We get Dr. Doppler. He's a robot. He creates a town where robots and humans can live together in harmony. He creates an antivirus, except the antivirus actually makes them go Maverick. Haha. Oh, Sigma is now officially a computer virus as well. That's something that KJ Inafune wanted to start including in the games, was the idea of a virus character. So we kind of see, that's basically the plot, like, oh my gosh, Sigma is there. But we do see a difference in Zero's theme in this game. The other two games, Zero's theme is actually the more triumphal track, but in this one we actually see it to be a little more like, a little depressing. Let's see. Okay. So this kind of like more sad tone goes along with the ending of the game, which is out of nowhere, they just say, this. And you're like, what? Like, I just got to play a Zero, and now he's got to die? Like, what is this? But then in X4, they don't address it at all. The game just starts. Nothing too crazy. So, I read through a lot about X4, and from what I could read from the game and the game manual, they never explicitly say what the Repliforce is. Like, you're just supposed to pick up on the vibe of it, I guess. We have a guest in the room with us, Dr. Wiley. Hello. Dr. Wiley, do you have any thoughts about the creation of Zero? We all know you did it.
This was my greatest creation.
Thank you. All right, so this is the game where we get the split storylines for X and Zero. Also, X does not show up in Zero's story at all, whereas Zero does show up in X's story, so it's like, I don't care about you right now. So we get the Sky Lagoon crashing, and then like, you know, trying to like stop another thing from crashing into the Earth. I'm like, gosh, like they're like trying to just drop stuff on the Earth at this point. Like, what is going on? And we get these themes of like betrayal with like Magma Dragoon and Double. His name is literally Double. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Also, Dr. Kane made him. And so like, Dr. Kane, like you need to stop making robots at this point. Like, you know, find another job. So we have, you know, a very famous moment. If you know the words. Oh, well, actually, hold on, guys. I lied. We're not quite there. You also see a little bit more seriousness in the stage select theme. So like in the other stage select themes, it's like, like it's like, you know, cool. But in the stage select theme for this game, it's actually a little more like serious sounding, at least to me. So it's like aerobics, you know? So at least to me, it connotes that there's like something more serious happening in this game where it's like, instead of like, yeah, I'm gonna go beat some Mavericks, it's like, oh gosh, if you don't beat these Mavericks, like the world will end. So like, you have to go through and select them. Now we're on the famous moment. If you know the words, please talk along. We're gonna watch it. I had to cut out the scream at the beginning, though, because the screen recording was giving me trouble. So.
No, this isn't happening. There's no reason for me to go on. What? What am I fighting for?
There's our dude. 100%. Okay. So Zero's ending in this game says he knows he will have to defeat X one day, so it does loop back around to the end of X3. But we also see in this game Zero losing someone. In the other games, it was X who was losing somebody. And now we see Zero also is experiencing loss. We got trivia. Get ready. Or, well, how do they say in the game? Like, get ready. All right. So, what is the name of the move Dr. Light teaches here?
That's how you know it's a good one.
You got it. Okay.
The hot Hadouken.
That's right. Come on down. Please also note Dr. Light's outfit here. He is ready to teach you some Street Fighter moves. Amazing. All right. So we get to X5. We know it's supposed to be the series finale, but there's something very strange where they're like, the galaxy is at peace after centuries of fighting. I'm like, hold up. Like, so is there a giant time jump, or did you guys just like throw everything out the window? Any thoughts? Because I could not figure that out. Yeah.
As far back as Mega Man 3, they actually make it clear that humanity has gone out and put mining colonies out on distant planets.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure Gemini Man specifically is like an alien world. I think several of them are. And I think that's what they're supposed to call that too.
Okay.
But it is very like galaxy. Finish what's on your plate.
Yes.
I also think that at this point in the X series, like they were very clearly being Gundam was a bunch of light, and that was probably a like giving any similar thing like X4. It was funny watching Gundam years after playing X4 and just realizing, oh, this is just kind of like this is Gundam. Like,
Oh, interesting.
It's like yeah, the colony crashing down. Rebel Force is basically the Xeon, and then Earth is like the whole like more like unity thing. So
There's also another Gundam connection.
Mm-hmm.
In X8, X is voiced by the same guy who does Domo Kashu and Jade Gundam.
Okay. So yeah, we see the space colony being taken over on a collision course with Earth. So like again, like the last game they were trying to drop stuff on Earth. This game they're trying to drop stuff on Earth. Like they're literally just trying to destroy the Earth at this point. But we see this kind of theme with like free will versus destiny with Zero. We do see Zero dying, but I believe this game like has so many split storylines that I was like, I cannot keep track of like if you save the thing and you don't save the thing and the other thing, and it was like I gave up. I'm sorry guys, I gave up. Okay. But the X5 opening is the thing when I was a kid, like, you know, like looking online that was like, what am I seeing? Like, what is this game? So we're gonna look at it. I don't care about anything else in that game. That's like the best. Like, it's incredible. All right, so, you know, it was supposed to be the finale, but then they were like, maybe not. Did anyone go to the X6 panel yesterday? Yes. Yeah, so, you know, he talked about how, like, it was, like, actually fundamentally a better game design, which I didn't know. Basically, you know, they were supposed to be a series finale with X5, but then they were like, we're going to bring back the game, but we're not going to bring back the team who made the game. We're only bring back one person. So, like, whatever. So, I mean, here's the plot. Like, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Real brief, I will say I do like that these games are very obvious about Sigma from the very beginning. Like a lot of other games, it's like, for example, in Zelda, it's like, oh wait, you're fighting these other people, but actually it's Ganondorf at the very end. But like at the beginning of some of these games, it's like a shrouded figure who like looks like Sigma. Is like, don't you want to like destroy humanity? And they're like, yes or no, and like you go from there. We had some hand raise, yeah.
Yeah, X5 had multiple enemies on them stopping a fallen colony, so you have to just think you can destroy the colony and save it, or fail it. So X6 takes place when they actually somehow deal with your sacrifice themselves and stop the colony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like Zero can survive or not survive, and I'm like, whatever. Like, any other thoughts on that? All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, as I said, we are probably running low on time, but in this game, we do have something unique. X retires from fighting, and then he decides to rejoin the fight because he sees that, like, if he doesn't, that like things will continue to get worse. And we get Axel. So yeah, hoping there. The Mega Man cosplay meetup is after this, so I'm like hoping we see an Axel. All right. So next, I think. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we have only one more video. All right. So X8. The most important thing about this game, Sigma is not the final boss. Like we did it, guys. Like finally. All right, so discussion question. What was your favorite Mega Man game, or Mega Man X game? Let's go over here.
Either X1 or X2.
Why?
Because they were the ones I got when I was a kid. And I played the hell out of them. In fact, I broke the cartridge.
Yeah. All right, back there at the hat.
For me, it was actually Mega Man Extreme 2 for the Game Boy Color.
Ah, yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Making friends right here. Okay.
The reason is that you can, at one point, you can play through the game as X, like one set of Robot Masters, play through a Zero, play another set. Then you can play again and being able to switch between the two, but you have to choose which character gets which power from the bosses. So you can aim with like X having different powers, and Zero having different powers at different points in the game.
Yeah, when I was a kid, you know, I didn't have a PlayStation, but I did have a Game Boy, and so like those were the games that I played that I was like felt connected. Other thoughts? Hat.
I gotta say, either X1 because it's the original, so I played the ever-loving shit out of it. But also maybe like X5 because it's the first one that really built. I think no, X4 is the first one that really builds in a lot of like meta progression with the home base characters. And I love meta progression in any game.
Yeah. Over here.
My personal favorites are X1, original X8.
Hmm.
I'm going to be a little spicy
Okay.
and say that my personal favorite is actually X8.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Why?
A lot of things, well, it's obviously a different series, but something that a lot of people kind of seem to overlook is that the final boss's motive seems very suspiciously like El Pizo's copycat
Oh yeah.
into Mega Man Zero.
Very fair. Okay. Two more comments. I'm gonna go. Glasses. Sunglasses.
I don't have the X4. It's like the only mainline game where Zero actually has its own campaign. Like 5, 6, 7, and 8. You gotta kind of swap between them all, man. 2 against 1. I think that's cool, but it is also just, in my opinion, cool to be able to play this for the whole run through.
Right. All right. Kirby. Oh. Okay. All right. Why?
They have friends.
All right, yeah. Okay, so observations about the games. All right, so what do we learn about resilience from these games? Okay, so the battle never ends, but Mega Man keeps fighting. Why? I think, yes, they need to make money. But I think it's anchored by the friendship that he has with Zero. Like, that's discussed a lot as the games go on. Also, this innate focus on doing what's right no matter what. If he doesn't fight, things will get worse. I think for me, when I, was like learning about these games and playing these games, like it was very impactful for me to like learn like no matter what, like you can keep fighting, like even if it seems like hopeless. But yeah, do you feel these games taught you anything about resilience? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this kind of ties into the question about what your favorite is. Like, I would probably say X1 because X1 is probably one of the first games that I played like with a challenge mindset, I guess you could say. Like, I really like that game to the point that I did a playthrough where you don't get any of the power-ups, none of the health upgrades, and that actually includes the dash, which is an upgrade in that game. So it really taught me a deeper love for that game, and it taught me like persevering because just playing that game without the dash is a lot of stuff that expects you to have it, and there's a lot of stuff that'll kill you in like 1 or 2 hits. But I guess you could say it kind of gets you in the mindset of that's like fighting against insurmountable odds, like and dying a lot, like God knows I got it, but keeping it going, like continuing to try. So it's technically not possible. What I did is I beat Chill Penguin and then I used a password to basically like, so you beat the Chill Penguin but you don't have the dash.
Gotcha. Okay. Gray?
I would say it's not even just for the X series, but the Mega Man series in general. So, like, people say Mega Man games are hard, and they are, but they're fair. It's not like NES games where it's just like, oh, I died to some BS. Like,
Yeah.
the controls in Mega Man games are very solid. And if you die, it really is your fault. It wasn't some RNG with a sprite moving across the screen that you had no control over. And that alone is resilience, because you only have so many lives. You're like, I died.
Yeah.
I do it again, I do it again, I do it again. And that fits into the story with the dour, downbeat, I need to save humanity. It's just repeating over and over and over again. So it's basically muscle memory to play the game.
Yeah, thank you. Here?
Throughout like all the games, like especially in X1 and just moving forward, there's a lot of that sense of carrying on, especially because things are bad, and choosing to stand up and just try. And that's like very useful life lessons.
Yeah.
It's just, even and especially when everything is grim and like you do what you can, you work with what you got.
Yeah. Blue Jacket?
So this is a dark horse thing, but X7 is X retiring. That is like kind of a downer, but like, he's been doing this 7 times now. And we all kind of can get worn out. But the important thing is, when he sees it's not really making things better to give up, he gets back to the fight. It's pretty clumsy how he does it. You got like Resident Attack, the opposition. The idea is seeing the actionable results of working it gets us to realize, okay, I really do need to keep fighting, even if I really am tired of this.
Yeah. Thank you. I've neglected this half of the room. Black Hat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was just going to mention, too, like, the ending of X1 feels extremely lonely, too. Because, Sigma's gone, Zero's gone, Dr. Light's gone. I assume Dr. King is out of the picture.
Yeah, so in Day of Sigma, he, like, dies. Spoiler for 20 years ago. But in the original games, like, he's still working up until X4, and then after that, we don't hear about him again, because we know he made Double, but then after that, we, like, don't hear about him again, as far as I know. So, yeah, I think technically, canonically, he's gone after X4.
I mean, I was just going to say, like, the ending of X4 is, or X1, sorry, is just, X just pushing through, like, the loneliness, I guess, running down the highway all alone with the ghosts of all his,
Yeah.
just pushing through that is my opinion.
Yeah. Sorry, we gotta move on for time. Okay, so What am I fighting for? Okay, so you're fighting for humanity, but here's the thing: how many humans do you actually see in these games? Like, you see Dr. Kane. There's references to humanity all over the place, but you actually don't see that. And obviously there's hardware limitations on the games and like what they're focusing on, but it's like, I wonder personally how different the impact would have been if like you actually saw the people you were fighting for. Because the games tend to lean a little bit more like, you're gonna beat Mavericks because they're bad. And like, not like, oh, like these are people I care about and want to like defend and help, like these are my friends. And you're like generally, fighting for goodness. So also you do see some people in the Day of Sigma very briefly in like a scene where they're like running from an explosion, and that's really it. So I don't know, I just think it's kind of interesting that you don't really see what the game keeps telling you you're fighting for. You don't actually see it, and I don't know, kind of interesting. Hacked.
I think they kind of illustrate it in, like they're not plot-heavy games, but you do kind of get the gist that like Sigma and the Mavericks are about domination and taking over, while X and the Maverick Hunters, they're explicitly servants of freedom fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are there so for the continuation of the current order. That's all. That's like as sketchy as it gets. Like that's what you have is domination versus service.
Thank you. Did you have your hand raised?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Similar to that. Again, a little existential sci-fi here. And the fears really did kick after Gundam. Thing about sci-fi, like if you're a sci-fi nerd, like you might already know, like iRobot, things like that. That's kind of the same beat that they do for the Mega Man games, where like even in the original classic series, robots are supposed to serve humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they think does not matter. And honestly, that relates to the theme of resilience that someone else talked about, how like who else is going to do the job if not Rock or if not X?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right. I think we go, well, yeah, right there.
I mean, it's maybe more of a straightforward than that. Like, I'm noticing it with a lot of games in which robots or androids were the central characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's always like this overarching sense that what you fight for is inherently going to be super nebulous. Like the idea for humanity, for goodness, is so big and so vast that it almost becomes a self-justifying cause. And when you are experiencing loss, you are experiencing these things, it becomes much. You have to be so much more creative to justify what you're going through. And I think that's to use what I'm thinking of, like Nia does the same thing, where humanity is the central focus, but you never actually see any humans.
Whatever, who cares?
It's like it's a very tenuous way to do it because it's rehearsed as well. It's cheesy sometimes if it's too serious about it. Sometimes they satirize the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do very well, and I think maybe
Yeah. Okay. All right. So another kind of observation about the game that we have here is the idea of men out of time. Okay. So literally, this is the same dynamic. Okay. You have one that's good, one that's like maybe bad, maybe good, Yes, the luscious. That's true. That's true. But I wish these games had explored this element more because you do get with X this idea of like, I don't fit in, I'm different than everybody else. And Zero is kind of like, we're going to go fight. And I'm like, we do get later in the games like more of reflection on Zero's past, but I do wish that like these characters, like that doesn't tie them together, if that makes sense. Like it does in the sense of like the fate of their, but like they don't actually ever talk about it. Like, we're both like men out of time. So yeah, I wish the games had explored that a little bit more. Let's see, next up. Oh, I believe we're on our final trivia. And maybe it's already been mentioned in here. But here we go. Get ready. What were the names of the Mega Man X games on
So many hands went up.
Now, do I give it to you because you mentioned it? I don't know. What are you feeling?
Mega Man Extreme 2.
But yeah.
Mega Man Extreme and Mega Man Extreme 2.
That's right. Come on down. Like, I knew it would mean the most to you, so.
Exactly.
You got money. All right. And again, I'm not exactly sure how to use these things, so like stop by Panels HQ, like which is just down the hall, and like if you are confused, but I believe you can just use them in the vendor's hall as like money. Okay, so contemporaries. Okay, so basically, is Mega Man X as a series unique? Okay, so here are the things that that I would consider would make it unique, and we're gonna see like does it actually hold up compared to everybody else. A plot line that continues through the games, the world getting worse from game to game, and throughout multiple systems. So it's not just like, you know, one system, but like literally through different hardware and everything, we see these games develop over time. Mm-hmm. So those are the things that would make it, you know, a little more unique, but is that fair, like in comparison to its contemporaries? So, any thoughts?
Yeah. Let's see if I can move my microphone. No, I can't. I'll just lean. So yeah, I went through each of these and read summaries of as many games as possible, and I could find elements of each of those scattered throughout, but none that seemed to incorporate them as wholly as the Mega Man series. So for example, with your Final Fantasies, you have a unique world state in each game, basically. You're starting completely from scratch, so not exactly a continuing world state that you see deteriorate especially. Legend of Zelda is more of a sandbox until it starts to become a little bit more universal as it goes on. So similarly, we're not seeing the same world with the same characters with their memories ongoing throughout, especially not at this point in the series. I see somebody with the Kirby hat on, yeah.
We're talking just Mega Man X, the game, or the series?
The series.
I think maybe compared to the contemporaries, the X series, there's always a looming sense of threat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, things are getting worse and worse. Like, sure, we beat back the Maverick, we pieces one for the day, but compared to the others where it says, like, we know this is temporary, but we'll do it again, X feels more like, we know this is temporary, we'll do it again, but how long?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't, because even X himself kind of realized, I don't know how long I can do this. Mega Man 01 comes along, and canon or original, he says, I'm tired. Either Zero, can you do this for me for a while, or Zero, you gotta stop me. I'm running nuts. I can't do this.
Yeah, that concept. Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you were talking earlier, the topic of the protagonist just being tired and acknowledging that, especially in this era of gaming, I feel like is pretty unique. Yeah, it like on the theme of melancholy. Your protagonists tend to be a little more upbeat or be a vehicle for your optimism for the world state in general. So there's something very refreshing because we all have had that experience where we are tired and we are going to continue to do what we're doing anyway. Seems very refreshing and very unique to this franchise, this piece of the franchise in particular. Just to touch on a couple of the other examples up here, we have your Phantasy Stars, your Metroid, and your Castlevania, which do have an ongoing world state, but I'd love to hear from folks as well if you have examples from these or other stories where I didn't feel like from what I was reading it had the same downward trajectory of optimism versus pessimism. And oh yeah, we had hands come up in the very, very back there in the black shirt. Yeah, you.
Okay, I'm just going to shill my other special interests.
Nice.
In terms of sometimes androgynous protagonists fighting and they're not sure what they're fighting for, trying to save the world keeps getting worse, I'm often going to say Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm. Great example, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, here in the front.
I was actually going to say, especially during the ending, Bastion. Like, it's got
Oh,
that feel of the
yeah.
world just annihilated, and you carrying on and picking up the pieces, and then at the end, especially if you choose the good ending, just putting down your big weapon and just carrying this guy who betrayed you back home, as these people are beating the tar out of you, and you just refuse to stop. Like, it's got that same energy of carrying on.
Yeah. And I feel like especially in more modern games, and I don't know if you want to speak to that too, Rachel, at all, but
I'm not a modern gamer. Nostalgia all the way.
Yeah. No, it's as storytelling has developed, and also the ability of systems to like handle obviously more story, more graphics. We see more of this continuing game state moving through, and also a willingness to embrace things that aren't necessarily 100% positive all of the time. So interesting to see how this has developed since the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, and the hat over here.
It's a movie example and kind of a slant rhyme.
Mhm.
I was just thinking about Road Warrior, Mad Max.
Yes.
Somebody coming in out of nowhere to represent human decency.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, Road Warrior was like 84 or something, and then Thunderdome in the 90s. So that's absolutely being looked at for story ideas there.
Yeah.
Glasses.
I'm gonna switch over to PC gaming in the same time frame. Like,
Yeah.
it seems weird I'm wearing the T-shirt, but the Wing Commander series also, like, it starts off like you're doing this galactic war, but as it goes into Wing Commander 2, you start to see more loss, constantly on the run, and it goes through and you lose a lot of comrades and go through it. It's like by the end of the third game, everything is dire. It's humanity's last hope is on this one sort of insane idea, and it works out in a way. But and I think that tracks along with what you're saying here.
In the interest of time, moving along. So I will say, I do like that it's a little similar to Zelda, where you have these three characters are kind of tied together by fate, and like in each game, it's like the same thing again because it's just this eternal struggle. So I do think that that's kind of unique. The other thing too is that like, did I move backwards? I'm so sorry. Yeah, we're asking it again. So obviously home computing was getting bigger in the 90s. Viruses were starting to appear more. And so there were starting to be these virus characters showing up in media. So I believe the Megavirus game like predates Mega Man. So I thought that was interesting that it's kind of like it was part of the cultural movement, like across the world, like these virus characters are starting to show up and stuff. After the Mega Man X series, so, I played Mega Man 0, love it. However, in preparing for this panel, I was like, I don't understand what this plot is with these elves and the whatever and blah, blah, blah. But, the opening to that game, Mega Man 0, is also very, like, atmospheric and, like, depressing. But I'm curious for any of the other series, if we could just get a couple comments on, like, do you see themes of melancholy in the later, Mega Man franchises? Dr. Wiley, thank you.
So I filmed a panel on a timeline for this, and I threw the Mega Man Legends series at the very, very end of the whole thing. Like, this is like far beyond, like, humanity is now gone and replaced by carbons. So you have kind of the melancholy that there's no more humans left. We're still interacting with their structures. We're still interacting with, I guess, the remnants of everything, and everyone else is trying to put things together. Scavenge, like, base surface or, crystals. So.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to call on people who have not raised their hands much or at all, if there's any thoughts. Yeah.
That's like, with the music thing you guys mentioned, I noticed that the music was getting progressively more detuned, almost as if it was getting perspective 0x was losing it more and more. It still had like a duty to do, but could not really justify why.
Yeah.
But the detuning got more progressive, even if the epicness, so to speak, was still there.
Interesting. Thank you. Any other thoughts? Glasses.
So the Mega Man Star Wars series, very kind of melancholy. It's a lot more personal. The character that you play as, his dad is lost out of space. And he's got little bits and pieces that tell his dad is still alive. You can't see him, you can't talk to him or anything. And over the course of the game, the main character Geo, you watch him, he like kind of breaks out of his shell. Melancholy sort of fades away, but at the start, he's depressed, dirty in his shell.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't played Star Force at all, so yeah. I will try. Anybody else? Somebody who's not really commented? Yeah, right here.
One thing that always struck me about the later parts of the series, ZX and ZX Advent, is that you get the characters from X who have been like literally reduced to power-ups. It's like the game is like telling you this timeline has stagnated so much that these people who used to be people have been reduced to their barest essences, and they're reduced to power the conflicts that are continuing on and return to it. And I think in general the ZX series isn't supposed to be really depressing. Like it feels like more like a this is the last hurrah kind of thing. But that aspect of it always struck me as kind of sad.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so yeah, we're almost out of time. So one thing, obviously Mega Man X series is kind of done. So it's survived in the fan community. Fan games have been made. How many of you heard of JKB Games, Mega Man X Corrupted? So, the man has been working on this game set for like 11 years or something. But in watching the playthroughs, like that is the Mega Man X that I remember as a kid. Like that is the right like tone and everything. And so we're going to play a little clip from the game, the opening stage, where X decides to sacrifice himself to save everyone on the ship that is crashing into the Earth. Oh my gosh, we're back to square one. So, he's deciding to save the ship. And listen to the music in particular. So the tragedy of this game is that you can't play it. But yeah, when I watch, I'm like, that's the X that I remember. That is the X that is the hero that will, fight for everyone, who will, be the leader and sacrifice himself. Like that is who I know X to be. So in our last 5 minutes, also, we have candy. So at the end of the panel, please come up, get some candy. Also, I forgot, we had a prop that I forgot to show. Anonymous donation from a friend who is in this room. But yeah, I mean, this was, I think, for a lot of us, maybe. How many of you played a collection game as your main way of playing these games for the first time? Yeah, so like, I mean, this was kind of the way to actually experience the games. But in our last, 4 minutes, I would love to hear from you. What do you want to see from the Mega Man X games in the future?
Another game.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear anything you said.
Hopefully a new entry that is like an X9,
Mm.
that's not like X5 where it was a gacha that was only in Southeast Asia for a while, then came overseas, died. Capcom felt generous to say, yeah, we'll just re-release it as a paid game.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
It's kind of going on what he's saying. So, like, when you were talking about with Mega Man, ZX Advent, and all of them came out in the same time period when Capcom was re-releasing Street Fighter 4 like umpteen million times. It's just kind of a cash grab.
Yeah.
So what you want out of the X series is basically like with Mega Man X Corrupted, the indie motivation to make a game that actual Mega Man fans want to play, not the just colorful, chill it out, gameplays there, but the environmental vibes is what people want,
Yeah.
the dour, the sadness, I guess.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
Kind of wants to do like a hub world between the kind of like Mega Man Zero did, where if you're playing an indie game, you're on a circuit. It's a really good way of world building where you have characters from aren't involved in conflict talk to you and like help build the world. Otherwise, you
Yeah. Yeah.
Putting aside that Mega Man X Corrupted is basically exactly this, I really want to see like the Symphony of the Night treatment for a Mega Man X game on modern consoles. Pixel art, gorgeously rendered, huge world, and just tons and tons of polish and love and pixels.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a hard time choosing because we're almost out of time. Kirby.
So I know a lot of us are hungry for sequels as well. Like I was I think thinking on sequels, I would actually like another entry to the X series. Part of that is because thinking about it, I think the ZX series, building up on what someone else said, there's a sense of hope in that series. Like it's a new generation and it's passing the torch of the Mega Man series. X and Zero are gone in their essences, but they're passing that essences to their successors. So I would love to see that built up for another entry. Like another entry where the heroes can live on really deep.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Well, everyone, that is our time. Thank you so much for coming. Again, I did not anticipate this many people coming this early. So thank you very much. Come get some candy and enjoy the rest of your mag.